So if you've already fixed your CV and you've realized that you're landing more interviews but you can't seem to pass that interview stage, then this video could be for you. I'll be giving some tips and some tricks on what to do and what not to do in an interview to land you that dream job. First things first, before you enter into an interview, always ensure that you have researched the company and that you're aware of what the company is about. What are their values? What's their mission? What are they known for? What is the product that they sell or the service? Pro tip, always know the position that you're applying for. How does that position fit in achieving the overall mission or vision of that company? As recruiters, we always ask this question: tell me about yourself. This is usually what we call an ice-breaking question. We want the candidate to be comfortable enough to speak to us, but at the same time, we are listening keenly to what you have to say, because there is a specific way to answer this question. The way not to answer this question is by telling us your life story. We want to know about you, but we don't really want to know about you. You know what I'm saying? Give us a brief overview of your career, where you started, how you ended up in the position that you are now, and how does being in this position help you to gather some skills or skill set that you need for the job you're applying for. For example, I'm Kamforreall. I've been working in HR for over 4 years. I have experience in recruitment, employee engagement, as well as different strategic developments under the HR function. I have increased the engagement score of my department from this to this within the period of 9 months. I have received multiple feedback about being goal-oriented, very observant, and I have a very keen attention to detail, which I believe will be very great for me in this position, because it would enable me to XYZ to achieve your overall mission and goal. Ensure that every answer that you give links back to why you should be hired. Very specific, very short, sweet, chef kiss, and then we move on. Another question that's usually asked by recruiters is, so why do you want to apply for this company? If you've done your research, as was mentioned before, then you already know what the company is about. So when they ask you, when a recruiter asks you why are you applying for this company, always align certain values that the company has with your personal values. You know, some skill sets that you have that you believe will aid in the overall development and growth of this company. Certain things that will prove to the recruiter that you have done your research, but also you are very confident that you can achieve what it is that the position is asking of a candidate to achieve. What you are not supposed to do in this question, and a lot of people do it, for me personally, it's a big red flag. If it is that I ask a candidate, so why do you want to apply for this job? And first thing that they say is, well, you know, in my current job, I'm not getting this and I'm not getting this. You're saying everything that you hate about your current job. Never focus on why you don't like your current company. Instead, focus on what it is that you have gained from your current position or current company that you can transfer into this new job. Always ensure you focus on why you should be hired and not why you hate your previous or your current employer. Candidates get so nervous that they act completely robotic in some sense. So you can tell that you have rehearsed the answers and you say verbatim as what you rehearsed the night before. So be personable, be relatable. A great interview always has this discussion factor. It's more having a conversational vibe or feel. So when an interviewer asks you a question, right, you just don't answer briefly and then you stop and then wait for the next answer, you answer briefly and stop. Instead, when they ask you a question, try to make it a discussion. Like, companies are not looking to hire a robot. They want someone with charisma, someone who communicates well. Especially if it's a leadership role, you need to be able to communicate well with your team. So these are also soft skills that through interviews, we can actually say, if we have 5 candidates, chances are we're going to connect more with the person that was having more of a discussion with us than us only asking the question. Okay. To be more personable also, you need to have at least, I would say, 3 to 4 questions that you would like to ask the interviewer or the recruiter. And at the end of the interview, the recruiter asks a question, so do you have any questions for me? And then the answer is, no, you've answered everything. That's That's not the best answer. Don't think about only one question, because sometimes if your one question that you have is about salary, which is usually the case, so what is the package looking like? Usually interviewers tell you a little bit about the company and tell you what the package and the benefit of the position is. So then that question would have already been answered. Your body language, if it is that you took some effort to put yourself together, you can tell from a person's stance if they're excited about something, their facial expressions, do they seem passionate when they talk about the topic at hand. Stuff like that is very important. So we're looking at the overall package in an interview. We can always read from your CV what it is that you've done, but when we're talking with you, we get a feel of your soft skill, your personality, and then we can say, okay, this person, the way in which they presented themselves, we can see that they will probably mesh well with the team. So be you, be free, but also bear in mind that every question that is being asked, the answer should always lead back to why is it that you should hire me instead of everybody else who's applying for this job. So now for the bonus tip. Bonus tip for this video is how to negotiate your salary. And this is a very big question, and usually there's some disagreement in recruitment as to should a candidate ask about the salary or should a candidate not ask about salary. Personally, I would always implore candidates to say what it is that you're looking for. You need to be very mindful and also realistic when you're searching or when you think about what you want. Always have it in mind the lifestyle that you want to live. Search the salary range of the position that you're applying for. Every position has a salary range. You have the lower end of the scale, the mid end of the scale, and the higher end of the scale. And when you're putting yourself on this scale, also bear in mind the experience that you have. So for example, if you know that you don't have much experience and you would want to put yourself on the lower end of the scale than the higher end of the scale. But always know what it is that you're looking for. You have a price or a number in your head that you know, if they offer me this, I am taking it, right? I'm not going to negotiate. I don't need to negotiate because this is my asking price. If they give me less than this, then I have to walk away and I will just not continue with the interview process anymore because it's way below my asking price. Then based on your experience and basically what you can offer and what you feel that you deserve realistically, right? Because I can think I deserve $2 million. That does not mean I deserve $2 million, right? And also, companies have a budget that they have to stick to. So you also have to be realistic with the range. So always research the range. You can go on Glassdoors. If you go on Google and type in what is the average salary range of this position, then it will give you a list, of the salary range in different regions and in different industries. Now with inflation at an all-time high these days, I would always say never ever give the exact amount that you have there. So if you put yourself on the lower end of the scale, then you would want to, increase by like 8%, give or take. If you're on the higher end of the scale, I would suggest not adding around 8%. You can add 3, maybe 2% increase to your number, because companies usually have a cap on what they can give. So if you're already at the higher end, then you can't increase it too much, because then usually the company's cap would be at the higher range as well. If it is that you say, okay, I want my salary to be $35,000, they can say, okay, our salary that we can offer is $30,000. If this is below the price that you already have in your head, that once they say this number is done for me, then you know you won't continue with the interview, and you say, thank you so much for your time. I will not be continuing with the interview process. So you know that number is not for you. But if it's in your range, okay, if it's like above your asking price, then you know immediately that you're interested and you want to continue with the interview process. If it is a little bit lower than your asking price, then I would suggest you can still do the interview, but then again, instead of negotiating, because they've already said this is what they can give, usually they can't negotiate any higher, then what you do is not negotiate the salary, but negotiate your benefits. Negotiate working from home, working remotely, different things that you can negotiate that will also reduce your expenses that you would incur going to the office every day. So that is it from my side today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.